Let's go. Raise your hand if you have any questions for me. And then we'll talk all about trading. My voice is a little bit sore from all the talking from the last week, but thank y'all for bearing with me. Let's go. I love you dearly. Raise your hand. Dang, you guys fill up this room fast as hell. You guys really make me consider doing more than one day, but I'm gonna keep it at 1 day a week for right now. Craig, we'll come to you. KB, Lewis, bet. Mr. Khalil, how are you, man? We got to get together on the suits and everything too, brother. I appreciate you so much. So yeah, message me after this and we'll get rocking and rolling. I appreciate you. Okay, great. You are unmuted. I'm ready to take your questions. How can I help you? Craig,
hey. Oh.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, no, I'll let Craig go first. That's fine.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you, brother?
Good, man. Good. So I have a couple questions, or 2 questions actually. So what would you say if somebody's getting in, say 50K, like what percentage of that should go to long entries versus trying to do the trading thing?
Have you traded before? No.
Practice stuff, not really traded, no.
I would do 90% long term, and then 10%. Yeah, 10% on trader. Before that, I would take at least 100 practice trades because this way we can keep our friendship intact, and then the probabilities are higher if you do it that way. Now, if you have more experience, I would give you a different ratio. But
okay, no, that sounds about right. Yeah, I went through the futures, or I'm going through the futures program or whatever, and started tapping into that. So, and another thing, I don't know if you can maybe expand on, like it was on the futures, one of the videos where he was kind of going through the trades, and your weight, you had put in for the long, and it was going up, and it was waiting, and kind of that sort of thing, and then it went up, and it came back down. You said if that's okay, you would just get into the other side, and then if it flipped again, you get into the other side. So if you can maybe,
you're talking about like placing an order on both sides and catching it.
Because you had placed it, it was waiting for the long to go and to get to the thing, but then it turned around a little bit and it's gonna go back through the line. And you explained, well, if that happens, I just flip it and go the other way, and if it happened again, I'd flip it back and go the other way.
Yeah, but before we do that, I have to do a visual example of that, but nevertheless, so please write this down. You guys still get 2 trades per day maximum, no matter what. Because what can happen is, like, let's say the line is hypothetically here, and let's say we could have caught a long here pre-market and then caught a long during prime time here. I don't want to induce you to trade because that you can end up in the spin cycle and losing like crazy. So I don't want that. Quiz time, YouTube and here in Zoom. Is the direction of this asset up or down? There's only one correct answer. Everybody please type in chat. But yes, I'll do a visual example and record it for you guys and put it out and kind of walk you through it. If I just kind of tell you, I don't want it to leave you out to dry and potentially lose. So yes, I can definitely do that for you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Great. You guys are doing great. And then let's go look at this. Is the direction of this asset here on a higher time frame up or down? Only reason I'm asking, because sometimes I'll pull up charts and people will say the opposite. And I'm like, maybe you aren't seeing what I'm seeing. So I want to make sure we're all on the same page tonight. Great. We're seeing down, 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 down. Great. If you have a follow-up question, brother, go ahead, fire away.
Well, so if you're looking at that chart, right? I know you said it's a higher time frame, but what at when the bends, if it was going up and then turns and coming down, at what point into that chart history would you consider it down versus up?
So this is a 1-year week chart. So if we're seeing it that this is the high at 231.10, and we are steadily pushing down, what price would be where we at least have to get to in order for it to be moving up? And then we can kind of go through it real quick. And even if we show, let me just do this real quick. So if we just do high to low, in order to even start to get into consideration, we need to go to at least 50% of where we were. This is a bond, right? So even if we go to TOT, we will see the same thing. So the bond market has been moving to the downside. Now, the great part about the bond market moving to the downside has been consistently doing so. That's why I like ZB is slow moving. For my overtraders, I know we hate slow moving assets, but these are easy kills once we know what the direction is. Please write this down. Tip number 1 for the night. You want to trade things that trend in a direction for a long time. Please type yes in chat if you've ever gotten defeated or lost in a choppy trading session. I want assets that go clearly down or clearly up. I hate this pattern. Oh my God, I hate this. It's like break out to the fucking upside or downside. Like, but this, now you can make money in the chop. You need a short target. Tip number 2. In a choppy market, you can see why my English teachers graded my papers, right? Shout out, Miss Johnson. Ian, we need to do something about this penmanship. In the choppy market, you need a short target. But I like things that trend one way or another for a long period of time. So even if you go look at the Euro future, is the Euro future this year trending up or down? I know some of you that on YouTube kill me in the comments about not liking currencies. Is not because the brokers you guys use, but they have futures that trade the same currency pairs that you guys like and they pay more. Is this up or down? Type in chat. Downward facing. Right. So, Craig, I appreciate that. If you have one more, I'll let you go. Then we'll go to KB.
No, that's it. I'm good. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. I appreciate you even more. KB, let's come to you.
Yo, Ian, how you doing, bro?
Great. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm nervous as hell, I ain't gonna lie. But I had a few questions I wanted to ask regarding the. So the first one is regarding the ZB, the target. I don't know if I'm allowed to ask specifically.
Feel free.
So the dollar amount, I'm not sure if is it the same as NQ, the targets, the small and the big target?
No, the targets would be different. So the short target would be the outcome would be different. They're in the same range. So the target that you would be going for 32 ticks, and then the 220 would be close to each other. But if you go for a shorter target, like 7 ticks, the dollar amount would be different.
Okay, and then for which one is it? So for NQ, I've been watching NQ, and I think the first 2 or 3 times I took it, so the signal hit, and then it whipped me out of the trade. So since then, I've been watching it because it's kind of put me off.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
put in
to.
Chat. He didn't do anything wrong. To give him some encouragement.
I'm not sure how to
NASDAQ is an
maneuver.
abusive. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not sure how to maneuver because even now when I watch it, I see it go to the signal, and it will say it's on a green candle. I'll see it go to the signal, come back down. I'm like, yo, if I took this, I would have been whipped out. But then it always ends up going back to one of the targets after like 5 or 6 minutes. So it's like I have a problem with. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Try this. Try 40 ticks as your stop loss. Practice it 100 times. NASDAQ, you're going to have to practice. ZB will make you feel like, man, trading's easy. NASDAQ is the voice that comes from heavens that says, hello, my child, this will not be easy. It takes practice. And how you're going to feel, like, this is trading in a nutshell. Oh, my God, I'm so excited. I'm going to be free. And then 30 trades in, you're like this.
Yeah.
Fuck, it can't be. And it's like, I knew it was going up, but when I got in here and then it dropped down here, and as soon as you get stopped out, guess what? It goes right to the upside. And it makes us feel like an idiot. That's why I say majority of the trading should be, or investing should be long-term. But NASDAQ has to practice. Now, here's the thing about NASDAQ. There is no stop that you can put on NASDAQ that it won't touch. So if everyone thinks that 100 tick stop loss is the issue, go try it. Enjoy. Guess what? My favorite game as a kid, Mortal Kombat, flawless victory. You would get decapitated every time. And if you think that you're gonna just put your stop at the bottom of the market and it won't touch there, enjoy.
That was today.
Can't do it. Can't do it. So you just practice one stop, one target. And here's the thing. So ZB, tip number 3. Be prepared to hold your trade for 1 to 4 hours, right? Here's a trade. No matter how many times I say it, no one does it. Why? Once you lock in profit, walk away. Put yes in chat if you actually walk away and watch how quiet chat gets. Here's what it allows you to do. None of my big targets have I ever, some of y'all lying. Don't make me call y'all out. Some of y'all lying about walking away. Because you be hitting my Telegram like, yo, right? But you have to give your time trade. And here's what it also does. It helps you reduce anxiety. Please put reduce anxiety in chat. Because if I'm not watching it, there are 2 outcomes. Small win, or I come back and I have a big win. Now I'll look on my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I'll look on TD Ameritrade like, where do we go? My stop is here. Hopefully it didn't touch there. I'll look in, like a 2 minutes to see if it touched that spot. But it helps you reduce anxiety if you actually walk away, and it helps prevent over trading, which is the cancer to all traders.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad. NASDAQ makes you feel that way, but it's very intentional, because if you can handle this fast moving asset, let's say if all of a sudden I put you on lumber, or if I put you on Australian dollar, this would be easy to trade in comparison to NASDAQ. Or if I put you on a German DAX, or I put you on a FTSE, you'll be able to dominate that.
Yeah. I think I had just one more. So the term, kind of use the term studying the market, but so I go into the market and I'm watching it, but I feel like I should have a kind of a checklist of things that I'm looking for, that I should know that I'm looking for when I'm watching. But sometimes I feel like I'm just watching the price action and how it reacts to news, and I feel like I'm not looking out for enough. So I don't know if I'm missing something with the term studying the market. Is there something else I should be like consciously looking for whilst I'm watching the market and taking note of?
Are you in the futures program?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm gonna do my Tiffany, right? Okay, checklist. Number 1, Tiffany, like for those of you who missed that interview that are entrepreneurs, please go watch that interview about how to eat up space when you do an interview. That is a masterclass. Number 1, you need to look at the weekly chart. Number 2, look at the daily. Apex family, don't kill me. Number 3, you then need to go to your trading time frame. Great. Number 4, literally get a dry erase marker and mark off where you're going to get in. So if I were trading the Australian dollar and this was my spot, I'm going to grab a Sharpie and literally mark on my screen here. And then if I've been over trading,
yeah.
For those of you who can't read my handwriting, that says don't take a dumbass trade in. I'm literally going to mark off where I want to get in. And guess what happens? When I'm playing Drake and I'm getting hyped, right? Song with him and Lil Baby, and it's up here, I'm not going to touch it. I have to wait for it to retrace down here because this is my entry. But here, when you're looking at this ticker and the market is actually moving, what it does is it induces you to then do something. Because I agree in chat. Because if you sit and look at the market for an hour and you do nothing, you feel as if you're wasted time. Guess who that benefits? The broker. And the broker are not bad people. We can't be mad at the broker for hitting a button that they did not call us and make us push. Gotta wait. That's why doing other things and getting up and walking around helps a hell of a lot. And especially if you're trading a faster moving asset, you're really going to feel like you're spinning your wheels, because the speed of the market makes us feel like we're missing out more. So that would be the checklist. Week, day, your primary time frame that you're going to trade off of. So let's say if you're trading hypothetically off the 8-minute, you have to then mark off where you want to get in for. So if it was NASDAQ, if I was looking for 12,900, I would have to wait till it got here. If it's anywhere above that, I can't do anything. That's it.
All right, cool. So it cut out for a second. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Millery, let's come to you if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, that's right. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I appreciate you being here.
No problem. So quick question. With all the rules that you give us in the the sniper program, how important or unimportant is it for us to really pay attention to, I guess, the news or, politics in the way it sways, the market?
I don't look at it.
Got it. So don't pay attention at all.
Yeah, because there could be bad news that comes out and the market goes up like crazy. Like for those of you who were trading last year, the jobs report would come out and job reports would be horrible and the market would shoot up. The first 2 times it happened, I was like, why the fuck are we going up? I was befuddled. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, what am I not seeing?
Yeah.
Great. Sometimes positive news will come out, and some of you have experienced this during earnings. Positive news will come out. Great. Beat expected numbers. If I can talk tonight, expected numbers, stock will fall. Like, what the hell is going on? So the thing that progression, and the same way like a pilots have a checklist, we have to go through our same progressions in our checklist. Like, so it doesn't matter as much. Now, if it's big news, like if the Fed is speaking, that matters.
Got it.
Non-farm payroll, that matters. Almost everything else, I'm paying no attention to, unless I'm trading crude or natural gas and those reports come out. Those reports matter, but everything else, if Biden has a speech in 22 minutes, or top of the morning, it may not be now. When Trump was in, he was a little bit more volatile with the Twitter fingers, right? But now things have kind of going back to even. It doesn't matter as much. It's not a primary thing that I'm looking at.
Got it. All right, man. I appreciate you, man. That's all I got.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks.
KB, we did KB. Cameron, let's come to you. Khalil. And then let's see if we had our superstar from last week in here as well. You can unmute. How are you?
Hey, this is Cameron. I had a question about the stock club. A couple weeks ago, I had double dipped on. I was in Ultra, and then I paid for.
You got to email me, and then I'll be able to handle it after here.
Yeah. You already refunded me. That's not a problem. I appreciate that. Thanks for sending it to me. But after you refunded me, I no longer had any on the Kajabi. I no longer had the videos on my Kajabi. So I don't know, they just disappeared. I've already watched them and everything, but I just want to have access for the future in case you put anything new on there.
You got refunded for the stock club?
Yeah, because I was already in Ultra, and then I bought the stock club. Like I double dipped, and then I paid like $1,000 also. Like I just got anxious, and you refunded me the money, but you just never for stock club you refunded the money, but you never. I just lost access to Kajabi for. I have access, like on my videos when I'm on there, I can see the videos for the futures, but I get the videos for the stock club, they just disappeared, like they're not on there anymore.
Or send me an email. Yeah, anything that so when the automation triggers, if you get refunded, the access gets revoked. But just send me an email and I'll put you back in.
Okay. And then yeah, it's not an issue right now because I've watched the videos and everything, and I've taken notes.
Have you bought the stocks though?
I have. I just bought 100 shares of Apple.
When?
A couple weeks ago. I got it when it was high. Actually, I got it at 137. Like right after
Why you get it so high?
I didn't.
It happens. I'm not judging you. We all listen. We all get FOMO. We all get FOMO. Yeah.
So when they like, it's funny that you said you'll hear good news come out, and then the stock price is kind of like inelastic. It doesn't move. Yeah. But I just got anxious, I think, because I had just joined and I hadn't really ever heard you say like the stock, your entry point is most important. I had never heard you say that. And then I purchased it, and then boom, it went down to like 116 like a week later.
Yeah, and 121, 118 is the area we're looking for. Those on YouTube, you get a freebie. Okay.
So what I was thinking about doing, I was thinking about purchasing another 100 and kind of averaging the both. So
what would you want to average in it?
I wanted to average in. I think a couple weeks ago, you gave a price of like 108.
You're in at 137 right now.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna put you in at 126. It's not bad. If you can get in at 115, it wouldn't be bad. If it goes down to 108, that'll give you a better average price. I mean, of course, over a year, you'll be
Right.
fine. But right now, it's
Right.
not the easiest if you have an iPhone looking at it.
Right. I wasn't super concerned about it because I'm planning on holding it for 20, 30 years. So I wasn't like super concerned about it, but
Okay.
I know
Okay.
that I'm in it for the long term. I'm not in it to sell or anything.
Yeah, the
And
only
I-
way I would get out of Apple is if Tim Cook leaves and they don't have a good succession plan.
Right.
Other than that, I'm staying the course.
But yeah, I'm planning on buying more, and I want to buy Microsoft also. I think you
Yeah.
said you gave a price like 223, 224, something like that.
It's a decent area. So wait for you have a trading question for me?
I don't have any trading question. Well, Uber, I never have heard you mention Uber and Lyft. And I know you said you've always said like buy companies that you believe in and that you love. I love Uber and Lyft, and they seem like they're undervalued to me.
Okay, great. What do you love about them, and why do you think they're overvalued? I mean, undervalued.
I think they're undervalued because like Uber and Lyft, like when I live in California, so when they were talking about getting rid of Uber and Lyft, it was scaring people to death because there's a lot of people that depend on it for their jobs. There's people that commute between like the Bay Area and Northern California. There's people that take Uber and Lyft to work every day. They get their kids to school. There's a lot of people dependent on it, and it seems like they seem like very important services. It's changed a lot of people's lives, like as far as like people going out partying and not having to worry about getting DUIs and saving lives and all that stuff. They just seem like
Good
very
point.
important. They seem
Which
like
one
very
has better
important
revenue?
companies.
Which has better revenue? Quiz time.
I think Uber has better revenue than Lyft.
Okay. Who has better net operating expenses?
I don't know that. I don't know that question. I don't know that answer.
So write this down because I want to make you a better investor on your own, and then also too, of course, I will look at the founders. So
Right.
Cyrus got pushed out. I will look at that. They've done better. I do think that there is some there definitely some value there, but also if you're looking at the automotive space, then you have to compare them up against the other big boys. The obvious one, Tesla, but also GM. So I will look at the entire automotive ecosphere and look at. So I don't just compare. When I say tech, I'm not just comparing Apple versus Microsoft. I'm going to do software, hardware, chip makers, and all in the bucket. And then I'm going to say who's the best out of the entire bunch. So
Right.
I think you need to do the same thing as well. If you're looking to for, 5 or 6 year period, 10-year period, you'll be great. I
Right.
think there is some value in Lyft and Uber. It may not be one of the first ones that I go to, but if you have your foundation taken care of, you could be okay to go there.
What do you think would be a good entry for Uber?
I'll give you the answer after you give me the research about those 2 questions, and I got you.
All right. I'll
Thank you,
email
Rob.
you all that. I'll email you all that. All right.
Better, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
The only reason I tell you guys that is because I want you to be able to think on your own. And if, God forbid, if I stop doing this, you would, be able to lean on your own merit. Mr. Khalil, how are you? You're unmuted if you'd like to chat. My brother, how are you?
I'm great, Ian. How you doing?
Man, I'm honored. I'm honored. I've been a fan of you for many years, my brother. So
It goes
I'm
both
honored you're
ways.
here. Nah, don't play.
Mutual.
You are amazing. When we gonna get together?
We're gonna make it happen soon. I know you're juggling a lot, so yeah, we'll work it out shortly.
I'm gonna make my way and get the measurements so you can not beat me up. I owe you.
I got something I'm working on that'll make things even more convenient for you. So we can chat about that offline.
You want to share your business with everyone real quick? I have no invested interest in his brother business, so it's not some back end deal that we did. I just love him and support him.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the feeling is mutual. So my name is Khalil. My last name is Blase. I own a company based out of Atlanta that specializes in tailor-made clothing for men. So I do bespoke garments. I do made-to-measure garments. And Ian and I have been in touch for, a bunch of years before he really became the
Crazy.
the superstar that he is today. I remember specifically, Ian, you might not remember this, but I remember specifically when you were really focusing on the marketing piece.
I
You
remember
posted
back on
something
Facebook.
about
Yep.
Mercedes and Maybach and
Yeah.
what your perspective was on the Maybach brand. And I was just so
Please share.
fascinated by like, I wonder why that's his perspective. And ever since then, I was like, okay, I got to keep up with this guy and what he's doing and what he has going on. So it's just great to see you thrive, man.
I appreciate it. Well, what was it? Do you remember the perspective? And then, because I think it has a good lesson here
So
as a correlation to the market.
when you posted that, I reached out and said, we have to get together so you can tell me your perspective on why Maybach is going to be essentially a dwindling brand in the Mercedes kind of stable. So I remember that your pronouncement was like, nope, Maybach, it's over.
Beautiful car.
So,
but yep. And Rick Ross's Maybach is more Maybach music has higher brand cachet at this time than now. Car, beautiful, but copycat brands are not, they have no competitive edge. So but I appreciate that. I really do. How can I help you, brother?
yeah, so my question is not trading specific. I'm not there yet. I'm more on the long-term investing side and just trying to, get my sea legs, as it were, in connection with long-term investing. So I haven't yet heard you, and it's probably because I haven't been following Market Mondays close enough yet and the work that you've put out. But I haven't heard you yet talk about an ideal way to kind of address IPOs. And I was thinking specifically about an IPO, for example, like Roblox. Which I'm interested in investing in primarily because I have children and my children are all about that gaming platform.
You're trying to get back some of the money that they make you spend, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? So I'm just interested in your perspective on how you would approach an investment like an IPO, using again Roblox as a reference point. What makes sense as far as just kind of generalities, and I'm not asking for a specific entry point, but just kind of overall, what might be an effective strategy to employ and a useful way to be thinking about that kind of investment.
Thank you for that question. Rule of thumb is best to wait 6 months, unless you absolutely love the company. So when I was wrapping up at IU, kudos to Stevie G. Stevie G introduced me to Facebook. So this is back when we were in the dorms. And when we were on Facebook, to those of you that are 20, yes, I was telling college when it's out. I'm an old head, right? But it was an obsessive thing on campus. For those of you who remember, like when it was going campus to campus. So when it came out, and then also like I had a chance to have my family invest in the family and friends round, and then I couldn't convince them to do it, and it still brings tears to my eyes to this day. But I was in love with Facebook, and I was a user of it for so long, I knew it was going to work. So, but I was willing to hold it for a long time. Now, for those of you who remember when Facebook IPO'd, they had a ton of issues on NASDAQ that day. And it took a while for it to break even above that price if you got in on the first day. So oftentimes you're better off waiting 3 to 6 months to see how it's going to play out. Because a lot of times, especially now, the IPOs are bouncing up, and everyone that was already in around here, they're exiting. And once it gets here, then it slides back down. So, but if you believe in the company and it's just one of the companies that you think that are going to dominate over the next 5 years, 10 years, hold it. But generally, I'm waiting at least 6 months. I mean, we can see it. Snowflake. I remember when Snowflake was about the IPO, everybody was messaging me about it. Everybody. And then we can see what it did. It had a hell of a run. Decent company. It started here. So we talked about the opening before for the year. It was at 246, went up to 429. Everybody was in my DMs. Bro, you was wrong. You ain't mastered shit. And here we are. Had everyone waited a few months. That's why I say prices always travel back to where they once were, whether we're at highs or whether we're at lows. And you can see it went underneath the low for where it was. And here we are. So as a rule of thumb, I try and wait.
Perfect. That's it for
Thank
me.
you, brother. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Likewise.
My brother went back into the time machine with a Facebook post. Oh, man. Derek Brown, let's come to you. Jack, let's come to you. And then, let's see, Elijah. To the queen, who I asked to see if she limited her trades, raise your hand, because man, I had to dream. Oh, it was a dream team. Like, let's adopt her. Let's put her in X-Men. So send me a message. I want to see how you did. But go ahead. Next question.
Is it me?
Yes, go ahead.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I see that you stay hydrated. That was actually my first question. How much water do you drink a day?
Not enough. Not enough. That's Ciroc in that cut. No, I'm joking.
I'll believe
No, I'm
it.
joking.
I'll believe
No,
it.
no, I'll switch between like coconut water. I'm drinking aloe water right now. I'll do suja. Jesse said that yak. If I was on that yak, boy, I'd be a different person. No, but not enough. I mean, I go through the debate of alkaline versus spring. You know, I'll be deep in the interwebs and all that.
Dr. Sebi's all spring, by the way. So just throwing that out there.
That's interesting. Do you have a brand that you like?
I like Evian, but Dr. Sebi says, all natural spring is good. So, but I like Evian.
I think no one is like voting for Dasani though, right? For those of you that argue. Kudos to the good folks at Coca-Cola. Don't cut my deals off. Y'all have some in mind. Never anyway.
Word.
Yeah, but go ahead. All right, I'll definitely test spring.
Word.
Bottle is preferred as well.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, I got a couple of questions. So I'll be quick. So you touched up on a choppy market today. One of my questions was actually regarding towards the choppy market. But my question is, in the choppy market, is the best time? Would you say that's the best time to load up on the stocks that we hold for long term?
Yes, if it's a choppy season and we're consistently, if you guys can throw out one that's consistent, like this is where you can build a base.
Yeah, because I feel like Apple is really choppy right now.
Yes, it is. It's just not in vogue, right? But also too, like if we look at a chart, and this is a monthly chart for those of you that watch on YouTube. Okay, we had a hell of a run last year. So you can see, like, okay, previous year, this is adjusted for split. 56 or 57.27 was the high, 37 or 38 was the low, right? Then we have here, the top is 73, the bottom is 35. We went from 55 adjusted to 137. Right. It's moving in a fashion that it does not normally move, so there's no value. So once again, back to the house analogy. If this house is worth 145,000, I don't want to buy 121. All my real estate people, if you're in a prime area, where do you want to buy? What do you want to buy?
100.
Exact, or at least 100.
Okay.
Then you can build the equity back into it. What happens a lot of times, people like 145, they got the iPhone 13 coming out and they can reach a girlfriend mind. I'm buying at 144, and then it dips, and it's like, Ian, what happened to Apple? Okay. Right. I love the company. I love Tim. God rest Steve soul, but I still want it at an accurate price. So yes, that would be a good place to start to look to potentially build a base.
That was actually going to follow into my next question, which is so I follow a bunch of you guys, you Trapper, EYL, and I did my own due diligence based off the 72 EMA, and I got a nice price of $100. And then I was listening to Trapper, and Trapper has said something about how he did some work on how the market cap of Apple is actually not worth two point whatever $trillion, and it's actually
what do you have it valued at?
1.6 and some change.
I mean, and I would agree, maybe 100 more, but it's a rounding up thing. Like 2 trillion sounds sexier than, it's kind of like Kanye, like, yo, I'm worth 6.8, and Forbes like, no, but he's looking at the businesses in total. I mean, it's a rounding up thing.
So my question with that is so how can we go about finding like the actual market cap? Because is that something just for Apple right now, or is that for all stocks? Because if
it's for all, but it's adjusted based on price.
The price of the stock.
Homework time. I know y'all hate when I do this. So homework, I want you to come back next week and tell me how to get the market cap.
Well, do the outstanding shares, then you multiply by the price stock, the stock of the price stock. But I'm saying, but when that happens, if the stock price changes, the market cap actually changes with it in live time.
You tell me.
Well, I guess that's homework.
That's the homework. And I'm not saying it to be dismissive or a dick or an asshole. Dream Team, tell him I ask this all the time. The reason why, because I want you, when you go talk to your family and they say, well, I heard that. No, because if you go 35 pages deep, you'll be able to definitively give that answer. And then it also builds confidence in yourself. And then you'll be able to also stick behind your prices once you've done the work. For me, and here's the crazy part. I love Apple. I never even bought a Mac to this year. I think the Macs are trash. And Apple fanboys will kill me for saying it. The keyboard trash.
Keyboard
Trash keyboard.
It is a key trash. Keyboard.
Okay, great. iPhone, low key in comparison to the Samsungs, trash. Yeah, see, now you can see this ain't Market Mondays then. Yes. Oh, yo, King, how could you?
It's
How
traded
could you?
after hours.
I honestly think when Steve died, a part of the soul died, but the operation side, from a corporate standpoint, Tim is damn near as valuable as Steve on the operations side. Yes, the glass is way better in comparison to any HP, but for those of you on Ninja, you already know it's a little bit easier to run Ninja on Windows. And I think Gates was a better entrepreneur than Jobs was. God rest his soul.
Word. Can I?
You have to be agnostic about this.
Say it again.
You have to be agnostic.
Right. No, I agree. And
but the ecosystem but the moat. We want to talk about a real moat.
Right.
That ecosystem is one of the greatest digital moats I've ever seen. And CrowdStrike may have something that may be just as sticky. And Microsoft, in my opinion, wasted a decade with Ballmer, and Ballmer was a good CEO, not great, but him and Bill was having the dick, who's biggest dick contest, just like Tim and Steve did. But I studied Apple for 12. My grandmother had an Apple II in 93. So when I tell you I've been studying this shit since a kid, while I was listening to Mace brushing my hair to Poetic Justice, I'm not playing with y'all about how long I've been studying this shit. I done pop out and just be like, yo, today I'm gonna do the stock shit. It's in vogue. No, you have to study. And once you go study and read the book Inside Apple and read every article on it or whatever company you love, no one can talk you out of your thesis. Shout out Joe Torre. Tupac threw that brush to threw that shit to Pasadena. So the ecosystem is what makes Apple powerful and revenue streams.
Right. The financials, their financials is pretty much similar to Berkshire's, in my opinion.
Undeniable. And I would argue without the addition of Apple, Berkshire would be dead in terms of return on investment value.
Right.
And I love Warren and I love the team, and the people that he have on his team, I think, are absolutely phenomenal now. And whenever he retires, and I could also argue that Charlie is more valuable than Warren. But Charlie, this is a good business lesson too. Sometimes you have to be the alpha that plays beta to keep the relationship together.
Yeah.
I could argue Charlie could out invest. Look at go Google what companies they got in based on Charlie's recommendation. Charlie is fucking Jordan of investing. Does not get the credit though, but he is confident enough in himself to say, I'm going to stay here and let Warren take all the credit.
Cool. Yeah, I hear that. Can I ask you a question regarding healthcare?
Of course.
All right. So I believe healthcare companies are going to have a huge growth potential in the next 2 to 5 years.
Of course.
And I think
which ones you looking at?
Ecor, Surf.
Surf is the ticker.
Yeah, Surf, SURF is the ticker.
Okay, I never heard of this one. Job well done. Surf Oncology. Okay, let me go look.
If you want to know why I actually came across this one, it's because of our friend Kathy Wood.
Okay. Okay, now let me ask you this: when you guys are doing deductive reasoning and seeing, is she in this pick long term or short term? That would be homework item number one.
Okay.
So if she's actively in and out, because if she's trading it for edge and for percentage gain, that's different than holding it as a core position. Now it has value because she can move the market herself. What if it becomes one of the holdings that she stops trading though? So you have to look. This goes back to your own, because here's the point that I'm trying to drill home. No one should be able to move you out of your thesis. I always said it. The setup that we have in Dream Team, if Buffett himself came to my house and told me not to trade it, I would tell you, I love you, but I'm not going to do that because it's shit fire. That's the number of trades that we have through it, though. So it shouldn't be emotion. It should be data driven.
Roger, that makes sense.
Yeah. So homework number one, I would see if she's holding it long term versus short, and then you still have to go through founder, revenue, net, right?
Okay.
And then on the tail end, you got to look at earnings per share and see if it's at a good value. Okay. So Surf, what's the other one?
ECOR.
Not in love with this one, but tell me why you like it.
I like the product that they're selling. They're selling a product that I feel like could benefit given the fact that we've been in a pandemic. Oh shit.
No, you good. Tell me what's the revenue. You're good. We're here. I have to take some off real quick.
The revenue is I don't have it in front of me, but there's gonna be 2 seconds. The revenue is
revenue is 1.08. Net income is negative 4.49. Cost of goods sold is 0.35 million. Gross profit is 0.73 million. Operating expenses is 5.5.
Yeah.
Not yet. They got to get a little bit stronger.
So okay. I was thinking of like adding a whole bunch of shares and seeing how that plays out, given the fact, because that was going to be my question with the healthcare sector, given the fact that we've just came out of a pandemic because of COVID. So in about 5 years, like, do you feel like the healthcare sector as a whole will grow?
Absolutely. It's going to be one of the most important.
Right.
But rising tide does not lift all boats.
Okay.
They still need solid revenue.
Right.
So if the revenue number is true, and I have to go back and check, but I don't want the revenue of a company to be less than what Lil Baby has in his account right now.
Nah, copy. I hear that, boss. I hear what you're saying.
I don't want to gamble. And if you do, go to Vegas. A lot more fun.
Speaking, Caesars Entertainment. Can you look at that one?
Absolutely. Shout out, Lil Baby. What's ticker for Caesars?
CZR.
Let me take down this voodoo. Okay.
So I did an option play at 81.
Okay. Now I can't lie. This chart gives me FOMO.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Now they did good.
Because like 12. Oh my God, man! I need a new desk. All right. So you got it in 81. How long is the option?
6 months.
Why so short?
Wow, short. I thought that was.
And I don't do options, but I'm gonna be real.
I could tell you
not
why.
Holding at least a year.
Yeah.
You put more risk on the table.
I could tell you why I did 6 months. The reason why I did 6 months is because I was looking at the charts on a 6 month chart with the 72 EMA, and based off of that, I felt like we'd see a new high for some reason.
You have to have okay. So for me, let's say it was just me and you talking, and it wasn't these people listening in on a conversation. For some reason, can't be the catalyst. The catalyst would have to be number of sales, deal, government, consumer visiting has to be there. Mayweather and Mike Tyson are going to box tigers. So he's just like, I need a catalyst for a while.
It's the reason why is also because just things opening back up and people traveling. I feel like when things do open back up, and
what if they don't travel to Caesars? What are some other places that you can travel to? Atlanta, damn near as an ETF, may be more valuable in a 6 month period if there was an Atlanta ETF. So that's why I'm saying, like, you got to take Caesars, MGM, now, and you have to look at the entire travel space. So you have to look at Travelocity. You have to look at every player, because the bigger the pie is and the more it's split up, the more it's going to be divided for who can take that. Now, if there's only one or two predominant players, you have a better chance. But you want to put every piece of information and then price in your favor to get you to having a win. Like, I don't want you, and I'm not picking on you, because the dream
No, you're
team
not.
and everybody out with Apex, tell them this is how we talk clearly. I want you, when you break these businesses down, so where it's a clear yes or a clear no. I think Caesars is a great company, but because we should open up, we could open up and people would not go there enough for your entry price or your strike that you need to be hit, to be validated.
Yeah.
So we want to now, how long have you been in it?
A week.
Okay, you have time on your side. You have time on your side. Now, if you have been in it 2 months already, I'm like, I don't know. But you've only been in it a week. I wouldn't give up on it. But yeah, I would consider going much further out to give, because the more time you have on your side, the better. For all my futures traders, have you ever been in a trade? If you could have held it an hour more or a day longer, you would have done well. Same thing. So the longer the time horizon you go out, the better off you'll be.
Word. I appreciate it. The
you.
last question that's unrelated to charts is just because I know you've been sending me the emails with the stock club.
Mhm.
We talked about it earlier because I'm in Red Panda. I'm in that group, but the Telegram stock club, I'm still just trying to get in that.
Yeah, somebody told me earlier that the link broke. So as
That
far
was
as get
me.
off here,
That was me actually.
okay. I haven't had time to, so
Copy.
please forgive me, but I promise you I'll get it squared away.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll slap you in there. But yeah, and then you'll be able to get updated. But you're like the FOMO that you're having. Please don't have it. But yeah, I'll be sure to get you in.
All right, sounds good, brother. I appreciate you.
No, I
man.
appreciate you. Elizabeth, let's come to you, and then Jaleesa.
Hey, Ian.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm begging you to give me an update. That is good.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, that's definitely a couple of missteps, but I'm definitely learning from them.
Okay.
But yeah, like since we talked, I only traded futures 6 times. I'm
Okay.
myself to 2 a day, and I'm aiming for Monday, Thursday, Friday. But or either Monday or Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday.
No, just do Monday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. Out of those 6, how many did you win?
5.
You won 5 out of 6. What's your profit factor?
I don't have that calculated.
But
basically,
pull it up. Go to File on Ninja. Go to Trade Performance. Hit Generate Report for those 6 trades and tell me, please.
Okay. Well, I will say that I the one I lost was a pretty big loss.
Oh my god!
Which is why I'm saying,
okay. Did you move your stop loss? I appreciate the honesty.
You know what happened is I got in and it was going the opposite direction, and all of a sudden it reversed on me. And yes, I had closed out.
Okay. You didn't close out, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I had
Was
closed
it on
out
NASDAQ?
Losses and different things like that. I closed out all of that, right? I ended up taking it into the next day. That's how down I was.
Okay. Two tips for everybody that trades futures. Okay. Do not hit reverse. Everyone type in chat. Do not hit reverse. And number 2, do not carry to next day.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask you. Because I was like, that's the one. And you know what? I mean, I was able to I was down like over 100 points at one point, but like I was
on NASDAQ, yeah.
Yeah, I was able to get it back, like to basically just like down 40 points or something like that. I can't remember what it was. Like that's where it closed out the next day. Obviously, I don't know what that looks like in a real live trading environment.
But here's the thing: if you're doing on Ninja, it's 500 a contract. Mm-hmm. Now, if you carry it over, you would need 17,600 if you want to carry the trade over per contract.
Right. Yeah, I would have.
It's not, and that's why I was telling you guys earlier. There's no place that you can put your stop on NASDAQ that it will not run. So if we look, let's say somebody was shorting here, right? So the bottom is 12,783. The top got to 12,975. Mm-hmm. Now, March, a 500 point slide is smooth. So I understand. And also if your stop gets removed or knocked off, you still have to close out with the same tick target that is your preliminary stop. But I'm proud of you for shaving down your number of trades. But I still want to know what the profit factor is. But
Yeah.
we've all been there. And let's everyone applaud her for her honesty. Because any trader who says they have not done the same thing, they are either lying or they only taken one trade in their life.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I would say I made like at least like 10 or 11K just in the last, like my last 3 trades. And then,
but defense, it doesn't matter how much. Like a firm literally just blew up,
oh, that's
and it was reported because lack of defense.
right.
So it's the same thing. But imagine hype, and the reason why I'm stressing this, and I'll show everyone for illustration. So you can trade 100 contracts max.
Mhm.
Let's say if you had 85 contracts on NASDAQ, and let's say you lost 150 ticks times $5. That's 63,750 in one trade. And let's say you did that 8 times a year, you're down almost $500,000 by not cutting off bad trades. At that point, it almost doesn't matter. That's why that defense, and type yes in chat to everyone if that makes sense. Because we always look at, like, even when the Melvin Capital thing, everyone was like, I would have never done that. And I'm like, well, if you've done it on $1,000 account, the only thing that changed between you and him is the dollar amount. So that's why I'm always stressing defense. Because and here's the funny thing. Have you guys ever been in a trade and you felt like it was going to win, and as soon as you get in it, it goes right against you?
Right.
Imagine if you had that with 300,000-400,000, and it's like, yep, and it's like, oh shit, it's going against me as soon as I get in. Oh God, what do I do? And it's funny because if we look over someone else's shoulder, we can tell them what to do, but when it's our money, it's like, oh my God, what do I do? The tick values and all that go out of the color. It's like we can't think straight. You're like, the defensive part is going to matter so much. So
Yeah,
I'm proud of you.
I made a full, yeah, you'd have to explain to me again how to get that profit factor. But basically that one that I like lost big on essentially was this, it ended up washing out a full target NQ hit that I had on Friday. So
It happens. Yeah, if you go to Ninja Trader, if you look in Control Center, go to File, and then click Trade Performance, and then you'll be able to see, and you can pull up over those 6 trades. But yeah, that's why that term, like, let your like cut your losers short, and all those axioms that everyone says is very true. So like, if you want to risk, because hypothetically, I mean, once it got to maybe like 40 ticks maximum, you would have wanted to cut it off.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you are like 20 is tight, but would you rather give up negative 20 and lose quickly on NASDAQ? And I know it's tight, but it's aimed to make you practice. Or you possibly can give up 100. And then I know some of you are probably watching. Well, if I put it at 210 ticks, it normally doesn't go in that range. For now, when it goes hyperbolic, you can see a 300 tick move on NASDAQ in a heartbeat. So you always want to play defense. Everyone type in chat, YouTube and Zoom, defense wins championships, please. And I used to didn't want to hear that. I'm like, fuck that, offense wins. No, you can be offensively sound, and then you'll have one that breaks your soul. And it hurts even worse if you get a margin call and then commissions kick in on top of it. Defense is everything. Defense is everything. So
yeah, I think so I mean, I feel like, other than, I mean, obviously that's a really big blow up, but I feel like definitely like limiting the number of trades
helped you
a lot more confident. I kind of had a question though, because I'm seeing a lot of like big moves kind of during the day. And so it's like, if I take my trades like at open on, like, you know, both of them, the main instruments, BB and NQ or whatnot. Today I won on the ES, but like,
great job.
But like, you know, like, I don't know. I guess I'm still just kind of trying to figure out that whole, like, you know, not wanting to take over trade and not wanting to take too many more trades, but just seeing a lot of movement actually during the day. And like, I'm wondering how much you trade during the day.
Still trade. So the reason why I have our call at 1:30 for snipers is because I'm trading during prime time with the Dream Team. So that time is sacred. So the times I'm giving you are my actual times I'm looking to get in. Anytime that you trade past that, you're putting yourself in risk. So, but look at it like this. if you wouldn't have had that one huge loss,
Mhm.
how much more confident would you have been going into this week and next week?
Oh my God, so confident. And then there was also one on Friday. I think it was like the ZB. I cut it short just because, you know, we talked about this last week. I cut it short at 7 ticks
Yep.
because I was all the way up to like 13 or something like that. And then all of a sudden, but then NQ, you know, market open. So I was just like, let me just take my 7 because it retraced to 7 ticks. So I was like, let me
Yep.
just take my 7 ticks and ride. But like, you know, I would have been winning that one too. And I would have felt like, in some ways, I feel like
Yeah.
that misstep made me feel, I would have been feeling a lot more confident, but I feel like that misstep actually made
No,
me
no,
feel
it
a lot
did.
more confident now.
Here's the thing. Now, as you ascend up the mountain of doing better, it's the number one thing that we have to all keep, especially for those of us that love it.
Mm-hmm.
Humility. Because here's what happens. I know what the market is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to obey my plan. I don't have to wait. I can overtrade, and God says to you, I will destroy. It always happens.
Yeah.
That's why any trade, and this is why for those of you who are listening, anytime you meet a person that's made a lot of money, if they're very braggadocious about it, they're usually new. You guys have even heard it on the calls. A lot of times people will win money and they'll sound sad. It's because of all the other defeat that you've went through.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep humble and you continue to follow your spots, a number of trades, you will be fine. If you chose to take 7, you have to realize it was a part of your plan. That +7 did not, it was not the reason why the other trade did not work. I know traders are very superstitious. I get it. But I want to commend you for your progress from cutting down from 30 trades
Yeah.
to 6. Because
And
I
would
know,
say,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would say the one part that I'm obviously, I've only been doing this for about a week now, but the one part that where I'm still trying to figure out how it fits in is like my day trading and my scalping. Because
Just one and the same.
I actually didn't take very many of those trades because I think I was maybe a little bit more focused on, you know, just definitely suppressing the number of trades I was doing. And so it's like, I want them to be these like perfect trades, right? But if I'm, you know, kind of playing with these stocks that are, you know, high volatility, high volume, but like, you know what I mean? It's, I feel like I hesitate a little bit with those just because it's like, I feel like it has to be the perfect trade. And I feel like it's a lot easier to see closer to the perfect trade in the futures market,
Yep.
right? Rather than
Absolutely.
like scanning like 5, 6, 7 different charts at a time, you know?
And it makes it so much easier. Yep. And then once you focus and you realize you only get 6 trades a week, you're a lot more selective. Like imagine if everyone here was like, okay, you only get to go on dates with 6 people over 10 years. You're going to be a hell of a lot more selective on who you swipe right on Bumble versus if you get 600.
Right.
Type this in chat. Trade selection is everything. A lot of you are going to end up beating people by doing less versus doing more. Trade selection is everything. So I'm proud of you. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do
Great. Thank you.
next week. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Jaleesa, we'll come to you and then we'll wrap up.
I don't have any questions.
Hey, Quinn.
Yeah, I was like, I thought maybe you wanted me to say something, but
Listen, look, if you don't have no questions, you can speak to the people, you know. You have any insights to give on your journey?
I would say even listening to, I think her name is Elizabeth.
Yes. And we've all been in those shoes, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
One, definitely remain humble. I would say the other thing is you're talking a lot about dollars. Focus on ticks.
Yes, please.
Because the more you focus on the process, the less you're
like
going to
some
be
bullshit, but I promise you, it
does.
works. Yes.
And I struggle with it. I'll be honest with you. I struggle with it myself. But when you focus on the process and less on the ticks, it makes you stick to your rules more, because you're not like, oh my God, I got, XYZ amount of dollars. So let me move up my stop and lock it in. And then you take away the opportunity to have a big run on one of your trades.
Yep.
So that would be some advice. Also, to his point about being humble, if you haven't listened to the Mark Douglas videos on YouTube, listen
Please
to that,
do.
because
God rest his soul.
you don't know where the price is going. even as much as you think you might know. So that just reinforces those. Um, but I would say stick with it. I mean, if you're on this call, you already have the motivation to do it. So just keep sticking to it. Like you already are beating the odds. 98% of traders don't make it.
Yep. It's gonna take you guys two years to be good. So for all of you that are like, hey, I want it instantaneous. I'm being real with you. I've been looking at this day in and day out back before Future got popular, like before he was like hot. That's a lot of time. Like it takes time, but by the time you get to that 2 year part, you've seen every market. Super bullish, super bearish, super choppy. You being indecisive, you over trading, you under trading. But if you guys stick to the rules from the very beginning, it'll probably take you a year if you lock in.
The last piece of advice I would give is having a day with no trades is a good day.
A blessing.
Yes, we definitely don't give ourselves enough credit to realize like by not executing a trade, you won that day because you didn't take a bad trade. So just keep that in mind. Don't feel like you're missing out. There's always going to be another move.
The market never closes, and there's endless things that you can trade.
23 hours a day. Like if you really wanted to, you could. Now, would
You
you
shouldn't,
right?
but yes. And then also too, London will give you an edge. Now it's going to be slower, but the London session will give an edge. So for those of you that are night owls like me, naturally, if you stay up, you can get a nice move in the London.
Yeah, you can ride some of those London moves into the open, the U.S. Open.
You have to be willing to hold London session. If you want to hold 1 to 8 hours, you're good. CB 1 to 6 hours, you're good.
Yeah.
Trade as considerable risk. That's it. The funny part, every rule on trading has already been written. The hard part is just sticking to it. And these are my rules for me. It took me a while, but once I got them, that's where the confidence came from. And not like even when the world is like, yo, Apple's trash. And I just told you a few reasons why I don't like some parts of Apple. From an investment standpoint, easy. Then same thing, NASDAQ. For those of you that lean on NASDAQ more to trade, I understand, but you are over trader. You like the excitement of the trading more than you do the money. How do I know? Because I was one of you. But a lot of times we end up wanting fast money because we've been making bad decisions for a long period of time. That's where overtrading comes from. We're trying to make up for the lack. The people that are extremely patient, and that's what I call the snipers, that are able to chip away 3, 4, 7, 3, 0, -1, -2, 15, 32 are going to win. That's the game. Edward Thorp, Thorp, A Man for All Markets, and then any book that you can find of his on Amazon regarding gambling, because he broke Vegas and then investing. For those of you that play blackjack, these rules sound very familiar, don't they? Money management is the same game. You want to risk less. That's it. And here's the thing, the brokers and platforms know that most people are not able over long periods of time to be able to withstand that. So the money is always in the house's favor. So that's it. Edward Thorpe, and we'll wrap up here. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for an amazing session. Before we wrap up, everybody tell me what was the biggest lesson that you took away from tonight? Planning a vision for self-care. We got to talk about that ASAP. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Time is 10:34. I appreciate you guys rocking with me all day. I love you dearly. Over now. I'm gonna get some rest. Love you guys dearly. Damn, I want to stay longer, but I'm not. Let's get some rest. And then I have the meditation affirmation out for you guys this week as well. Love you. Over and out.